Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades full release. So, this will be, I believe, our third run now on the full release, and last time we fell just short on the Fist of Malphon. However, this time, we're going with the bow, because I recently realized that we actually have not successfully completed a bow run yet, which is strange. But let's give this a shot here, and a hammer upgrade early is big. Getting triple shot would be fantastic. However, there are a few scroll options here, so these are new to us. We can hold our special for up to plus 200% base damage. Minimum range is reduced, though. The special on the bow, remember, shoots a bunch of projectiles, but generally deals pretty low damage. Or the special deals plus 3 base damage for each consecutive hit to a foe. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the bow special, because although you can hit many people, it seems like the high-end damage potential is rather low. So I do really like triple shot. I feel like this early on in a run, when we don't have a great sense as to what we're going to find, better to stick to the fundamentals. Get something that's going to be, for sure, a strong pickup, rather than something that's a little more niche in the special upgrades. So that's what I'm thinking here. Could be wrong. Fortunately, 3 casts actually can take those guys out, so may not even need to use the bow directly in this case, at least at the moment. Okay, what's next? Either Ares or Obols. Is there anything else in here? I don't think so, but as for what you want to do with the bow, now it's been a while, yes, but Ares tends to be Doom. Is that a good combination with the bow? I think you want to have slow, hard-hitting options with the Doom, because unless you get a specific upgrade, you won't be able to stack multiple rounds of it. If we're going triple attack here, it is a little bit on the slow side. I suppose let's give Ares a shot here. Let's see what we get. For you. Who's next? There we go. Trying to also get in the hang of using the power shots, which is, well, also takes a little bit of practice getting back into the swing of that. And what will we get from Ares? Is it worthwhile here? Oh, I guess.
Release, whilst I most certainly do no such thing, I do appreciate his take on it.
I suppose so? Okay. Ooh, we could get an epic shot for the cast. That's the Blade Rift. A lot of damage. Or the Doom on the attack, Blade Rift on the dash. I think maybe we do that on the cast. So that'll make it look like this. Pretty large area, in fact. That's bigger than I remembered it being. So that's nice as well. Other than that, we can go Darkness, we can go Keys. Let's take a quick check as to which one we are in more need of. We have a lot of keys. I don't have that much darkness, so let's go the darkness route. And more of these guys. We've seen a ton of the hands. Not much of anything else. Strange. Curious how the damage compares between using the bow and using the cast, but perhaps got a little too clever there. There you see the triple shot taking out multiple people. It is helpful in that way, and the darkness does heal us a little bit, so we're back at full HP after getting hit once there. Obols or life do like stacking up as much life as we can early as possible. Of course, similar story with the Obols. You start to stockpile those, then you can get really aggressive on future shops, so it's not a bad idea either. You guys are very speedy. I wonder if it's because you're technically mini-boss versions? Champion versions, whatever you want to call them. Here's what the special looks like, for anyone who forgot. You're staying stagnant like that, and we can use the cast pretty effectively. It's not stepping that, though.
Centaur strength.
So there's the max life. Then, no options from there. Darkness, it shall be, in that case. Oh! Well, it's a chamber room. Allows us to heal, except, we don't really need it, so thanks, but, exactly. See, like, now, if we had picked up some of those ovals, this might have been a reasonable option to go to the shop here, but I think on this occasion, probably not, because 163, we could get a boon, yes, but that's about it. So let's go to the mini-boss for Artemis. Fortunately, it's not what I think is the most difficult enemy in Tartarus. The newest of the mini-bosses, which, of course, maybe doesn't mean that much when now we're in full release, but actually there are a couple that came out at the same time, I suppose, but one that teleports a lot and is rather hard to hit for that reason. It's generally way faster than any other enemy that you find in Tartarus. Ooh, I just stood there. Forgot that he drops one of those explosives on death. You could stand right there, though. It allows us to load up on the cast. That is the plus side. Okay, don't let it happen twice. If they're standing still like that, especially if they're up against a wall, we just do this. That'll help a lot in terms of the damage. Artemis, what do you have for us?
Near the surface lately, Zacharias. That's practically just like the real thing. It must have been a thrill.
I suppose so. This might be the most enthusiastic we've ever heard Artemis. Whoa! And she is willing to swap out the cast. We would upgrade the rarity to go from epic to heroic. It is a lot of damage, but to lose our only boon thus far for that, I mean, I think we can't really look at it that way. We have to mostly just look at it from the standpoint of, is this an upgrade? Do we prefer True Shot to Slicing Shot? It has the crit chance. It does have much higher base damage. So it's going to be spikier damage. When it does crit, it's going to be fantastic. When it doesn't, I think we might still prefer, well, I don't know. I mean, even the Deadly Strike, epic version of our normal attack, that's not bad either. So I'd say that's probably plan B. You know what? Let's go for it.
Ares won't mind.
Hopefully Ares won't mind about that.
Over here.
Like you guys, if we were to take that route. I guess don't use simultaneously, that would be ideal. First time we've seen any of these guys, I think. Which is strange, because they're... Ooh, I should not have had that hit us. Usually they're the most common enemy. Yeah, so we've taken more damage in this room than we ever should have before.
They're gone.
They are gone now. I should pick up more life, so that helps as well. I think getting 2 life upgrades in Tartarus is maybe slightly above average. It's decent pace. You know, not to say that it's out of the ordinary for that to happen. It just means that if you were to continue to go at that pace in ASPHODEL and ELYSIUM, maybe even Temple Styx, then you'll start to find that you have a lot of HP at that point.
Come on in.
And maybe I just haven't been noticing, but I feel like we have yet to see that cast crit. It is only a 10% chance, which I suppose isn't terribly high, but that is the primary reason why we picked up that cast. The base damage, yes, as well. 100 is going to be enough to one-shot at least some weak enemies, as you saw there. There's the crit. Okay. There's the max HP. Oh, I might have heard something else over here. Yes, Trove. For Obels? I think it's worthwhile, for sure. Like we said, we're skipping out on some of the Obel rooms. So it would be useful to get a little bit more of that going on. Ooh, got hit there, though. Alright, funny here. Triple shot, in theory, should help us out here, taking out multiple enemies at once.
Every time.
Did get hit a little bit more there, yes, but I think that is probably still going to be more than worthwhile. Getting what more or less amounts to, ooh, maximum life upgrade worth of ovals. Okay, and this might be another good opportunity for us to load up on some ovals, depending on how this goes. We definitely don't want to get caught with the hands. That would hurt. Slow us down considerably. That's the primary reason why I think that would not be a great idea. Of course, never want to get hit. Though it seems like, for some reason, there are very few enemies in this one. Very much like these back. Thank you. Even if they're all right next to all the enemies. Yeah, this seems like the lowest concentration of enemies I've ever seen in one of these types of rooms before. They are seemingly 100% champions, which is a little strange. I knew that was coming.
Enough.
Mine.
Got a little bit of darkness to heal some of that off. But ultimately, just a little bit odd, that room. So we could go for Zeus. Zeus can help us take out multiple enemies simultaneously as well, which could be an interesting synergy to go along with our triple shot. So I think that's a decent idea. However, having the opportunity to take 2 boons from one room is, of course, I think always, or at least almost always, the right answer. So we'll see if we can get Zeus later. Also, well.
They're making me choose.
Now, this is a little bit odd, because, of course, we did lose our Ares boon when we had Artemis override it. So usually, this would be choosing between 2 people who you currently have boons from, but on this occasion, well, we no longer have Ares' boon, so why don't we go with Artemis instead? See if we can get something that synergizes with what we already have. And support fire is fantastic for when you're attacking quickly. Otherwise, clean kill has the high rarity. Your crit effects deal even more damage, 30%. I don't know. Support fire can be great, depending on what you have going for you, but I just feel like with our relatively slow charge-up time on the bow, it's not a great synergy at the moment, unless we were to find another way to boost the speed. I think we go with clean kill here. If we were using a much faster weapon, then support fire definitely would have been preferable.
You must not know me very well. Death shall come regardless, either to your enemies or you.
Yeah, Ares, we've kind of passed up on you twice now, with Artemis stealing your boon, and then taking Artemis over you on this occasion. So, you know, you have reason to be upset with us. I can't blame you. And then we don't want to be standing in those circles. Don't think I need to tell you that. But when all of our enemies are hanging out in this one area here, that is a little bit easier said than done. There we go. Took a little bit of damage, but not a ton. Ares, what do you have for us this time, though?
Sacrifice and blood is fully paid, and we are squared away. Though, think you twice next time before you cross me,
Alright, if you say so. So we could still have the Doom attack. And like I was saying, that's sort of the opposite of what we just saw with support fire, and that this is preferable with slow, hard-hitting attacks. So that's kind of what we're doing at this point in time. That might be preferable here. Otherwise, our special inflicts doom, we aren't doing anything terribly special with our special at the moment. And our dash, creating a blade rift, there are some strong dashes. This one seems like it's, I'd say, fairly high up there in terms of the pure damage, but in terms of other utility, not so much. So maybe we do go with the Doom? I'm not super enthused about any of these options, but let's go with Curse of Agony.
Fighting.
Here's the well. Do we have anything here that might change things? Mostly just temporary upgrades, nothing really big here. And we have taken a little bit of damage, yes, but I think I'm not terribly concerned at the moment, even if we were go into a boss fight next, especially if, say, we were to go to a darkness room next, because we could heal a bit from that. So that should help. Try to cast at you. Oh, that's a lot of projectiles. I would like our cast back. Say, get rid of some of those people before throwing all the projectiles. Still one remaining. Use on you. Oh, I should not have gotten hit there. And finish you off like that. And I think on that we did still gain a little bit of life there from the darkness, so that's not terrible. Oh, the other thing is with the bow. This was a Dark Thirst bow here. So we are getting a little bit of bonus darkness as well. And I honestly paid 0 mind which keepsake I was using. So apparently we're going with the Evergreen Acorn. So that'll help with the bosses, yes.
CHARON's
Speaking of which, ooh, hello, Golden Urn. We're about to go into one of said boss fights. What do you have to say, CHARON?
I'll just have a look around.
Indeed. Okay, so with 426 obols, we could purchase both of these boons, which I think is not a bad idea because, well, anytime you can get 2 boons in one room, I think is always a good thing. So Hermes is always big.
Use this.
He can give us speed. Ooh, side hustle early is fantastic. Gives you obols for every chamber. Unfortunately, only normal rarity here, but that is probably still something that we will find very worthwhile. Otherwise, our special is faster. We were talking about how having our attack be faster. That might be helpful. Otherwise, this is the rare one. After taking damage, dash quickly to recover some of the HP that we lost. It is 50% of the damage that we took. That is a lot. I'm thinking in boss fights in particular, that could be quite useful. So this one is maybe best for specifically boss fights, whereas this one, more generally speaking, over the long term will pay off. I think we go side hustle here, though. Tempting, yes, quick recovery, but I think the timing is such that side hustle is a very strong option for us. And then we can also go Dionysus here.
I'll take this one.
See what we get from this. Oh, another great early one. Premium Vintage. Means that if we take this, every time that we get a nectar, we will increase our max life. So we can make a point of picking up nectar rooms, when otherwise those might not be terribly high priority. So we do that. Between that and side hustle, I think that means we are
Perfect gift.
well set up to do some great things here. And that did also upgrade our clean kill. So I believe this was plus 30% critical damage previously. Now it's plus 36%. And we'll head into the Fury fight. And I'm guessing... Who did we have last time? Was it Meg? I think this one's going to be Electro. No, it's Meg.
Megara.
Give up already, Zag, or I'll keep killing you each time you come this far.
Pretty sure it's been a very long time since you last took us out, Meg, but
I have
sure.
some bad news for you, Meg. Little by little, I'm getting stronger.
Indeed.
That may be so, but you'll never be my equal. Ever. You do well to remember that.
You sure about that? Like, really? You sure about that? Seems awfully strange coming from you. Like I said, I honestly couldn't tell you when the last time we lost you was. A long time ago, I would think.
Think so.
Okay, then we don't have a great way to block these projectiles, other than using our keepsake, I suppose. Fortunately, no crits there. What we would really love to have would be, we picked up some crit damage, yes, but some crit chance. Deals a lot of damage already when we hit the crits. It's just that they don't happen very often. Pick up these. Ideally, we backstab you. I think we did get one crit in there. Ooh, back to this, okay. Ooh, wait. Back to it again. Well, you're persistent, if nothing else. I'll give you that, Meg. Okay, dropping at least, some of the bloodstones. There they are. Okay, that's the first time we've seen you use this skill, at least this time around. Seems as though you'd kind of forgotten about it. But there we go. I think we may not have taken any damage there. If we did, it was very minimal. But that's kind of what happens when you take the acorn.
That's mine.
Darkness heals us up. Just double check for any gold urns. I kind of doubt it, but then, yep, let's move on. So yeah, up at 175 life, actually, in Tartarus. That, like I said, that's definitely a plus in that case. One thing that we didn't do, we were talking about how we had a lot of things that were good early pickups that will pay us, pay a lot of dividends in the long term. We did not get a Chaos Gate, which is another thing that is very good to pick up early because, of course, it has the downside for the first several rooms after you go into the Realm of Chaos, and then after that, it evolves and gives you the powerful effect. So I think that's definitely something that I'm eyeing here. We're on full life, so we're definitely not going to need life essence, and yeah, some gems. They're somewhat helpful, but they won't directly affect this run. Let's go with Chaos. And then maybe we could sell boons. Or we could swap over to a different keepsake. I mean, we are leveling up the Evergreen Acorn. It is rank 2 right now. It's 23 encounters away from reaching rank 3. If we were to stick with this, then I think there's a reasonable chance we would get all the way up to rank 3 by the end of this run. So maybe it is worthwhile for us to stick with it.
Up we go then.
Of course, it's not super meaningful early on against the relatively easier bosses, but long term it does pay off against some of the stronger ones.
Getting warmer.
So there's Chaos, as guaranteed. Just see what we'd be missing out on. It would be a palm, so I think that's perfectly reasonable to go down here. So what do we want from Chaos is an interesting question. Well, for a second I thought that was a fishing spot. And, well, I suppose we can see what we get, and that might make it a little bit easier to figure it out.
The goddess snake swimming closer long ago, after she bore her first children. I nevertheless expected her attention to remain undivided. I kept creating. When finally I slowed, I realized my mistake. But our connection had been severed by that point.
So you two used to be closer? Okay, ooh. Several very rare options here. We can have enemies drop Inferno Bombs on death, but our Dash Strike deals a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Dash Strike with the bow. It's possible, for sure. Otherwise, we can have, again, Inferno Bombs, but afterward we get 49 max life. If we're looking to maximize our max life, then that's the way to do it. This also has a scroll next to it. It is rare rarity rather than epic, as we see with these other ones, so let's not get too caught up with that. But the last option would be, we can't earn ovals, but afterward we get a lot more darkness and gems. So that one is most useful for saving up darkness and gems so we can buy things back at the House of Hades. The darkness, yes, can help with healing us, so there is also that aspect to it. Suddenly the darkness rooms become in many ways life restoration rooms, so I think there is still that aspect to it. But I do think that we have a lot of potential to maximize our maximum HP. So let's go with Caustic Soul here, and if we were to find our way into another Chaos Realm, then maybe something like this, if it were to show up again, would be an option for us. But if we're thinking just immediate term, one option, I think we go with this. Ooh. Now, it is really tempting to go Eurydice, of course, she's always fantastic, but remember, whenever we pick up the nectars, we do also gain maximum HP. So, any other time, I would say yes, do this, but I'm going to deliberately try to lean in the boons that we have thus far, maximize what we get out of things like Side Hustle, which would be another reason for not taking the Chaos boons that makes it so that we can't get any ovals at the end of or during or at the end of rooms. Remember, we will have people throwing those Inferno Bombs at us, and this is a pretty small room. It does make things a little bit complicated. Ooh. You gotta go. And I dashed into that one rather than away from that one. And you sniped me that time.
That's something.
Okay, so fortunately, we'll get this, and it will also upgrade one of our skills. It was True Shot, so that is our cast. So it was dealing base 100 damage before, now it's 142. So that was good because it was more or less one-shotting people in Tartarus. Might have found that now that we're in Asphodel, would not have quite had enough power to do that, but after leveling up, hopefully it will. And Hermes, I think, is always great. Let's go there. Or Side Hustle, of course, that was a pretty fantastic pickup. But, where are the enemies? Huh? Actually, no. There you are, you're hiding over here. It was tempting to try to blow up that container on you guys. Doom should finish you off here. Right here. Did they have that blow up on some people? I think it did. Ooh, there are a lot of you. Perhaps more than I gave you credit for. Person I was originally trying to hit with that ran away. Okay, that should take you out. Still a few Gorgons, though. Remember, those will freeze us in place, petrify us. We definitely don't want to get hit by that. Doom should do it if I could land it. There we go. Hermes, what do you have for us this time?
Thought I'd check up on you there, boss. You doing well? Everything good and all? Can't hear you one iota, mind. So then, don't answer that.
Okay. Remember, gods cannot hear us. It improve our movement speed, which is always a solid option defensively. Helps us get out of the way of enemy attacks. Special faster, I think we saw this earlier. This might be a higher rarity version, but we still have yet to do anything to improve the power of our special, so that feels like largely a waste at this point, unless we were to make a point of picking up big special upgrades in the future, which is not necessarily something we're doing right now. We've been investing most heavily in the cast, which might mean having foes drop their bloodstones more quickly could be helpful. It's either that or the move speed, I think. Maybe we do go with quick reload in that case.
Let's go.
It'll help us out, make it so that we can use our cast more frequently, especially against the big enemies that we can't take down right off the bat. We could proceed to sell something. These are all pretty fantastic things for us. Selling Side Hustle for 40 obols in 4 rooms, it pays off for itself. So, definitely not. No thank you. We go Ares, or we can go to a shop. We're on 177 obols, which is something, yes. That's roughly the equivalent of purchasing a boon. And in this case, we get a boon for free. So I think we go this route. It is a mini-boss, I believe. So it could be tricky. Looks like it's going to be the Barge of Death. Ooh, however, also, 2 golden urns there, in addition to Side Hustle, means we'll pick up a fair bit more obols. Let's break this on you guys. Want to get rid of... Ooh, this is also going to be a tricky place for enemies dropping those Inferno Bombs, because it is small. It is compact. So, not a lot of room to run when they do that. Okay. We can take this out on you, preferably, not us. That'd be ideal. Ooh, I'm very lucky to dodge that one. Doom should do it? Yes. Should be the last wave here. Okay, you were about to blow up in my face. I did not appreciate. We blow you guys up with a cast. 1 down, 2 down. Ooh, I almost dashed into that one again. Cast on you guys. You are just hanging out in the lava, which is cool, I guess. Thanks. Also, may not have taken any damage there, which is always good on the Barge of Death, so not bad. Free boon, rather than buying one at the shop, like I was saying before, in addition to some extra obols from the golden urns, so not bad. What do we want here? We have seen the Blade Rift Dash. Have we seen the Doom special? We may have, at the very beginning. Ares Aid, we don't yet have a call, so that could be a reasonable pickup. I am a fairly big fan of Ares Aid, what with it giving you a fair bit of damage and also the imperviousness. So, strong both offensively and defensively. So, I'm thinking maybe we do go that route then. Because having that in time for big boss fights is always good, and yeah, now having the ability to get max life from both the life rooms and from the nectar rooms means that we should be able to load up on that very quickly. And these guys have crazy combos. Oh, that deflected. So I thought I was dodging the Inferno Bomb, and then for a second there it looked like I wasn't going to. I think we did ultimately end up avoiding the damage, but we've got to be pretty close. Yeah, I think this looks like it's the last room, in which we'll still have the Chaos Boon, or the downside of Chaos Boon. Should evolve after this one. And it was max life for that as well, right? And there it is. So we went from 200 to 249 to 274 in Asphodel. And with rooms to go at that. So we could go Aphrodite. We've not yet seen her. Or Obols. Now, It's an interesting question on the obols because we will automatically get some with the side hustle, regardless of which chamber we go into. So do we deliberately rely on just that to basically generate all of our obols for us, or do we make a point of going to as many obol rooms as possible and totally maximizing our obols? I think that I do like Aphrodite. Let's give her a shot. And I think there will certainly still be times when we feel like obols are the best option here. Ooh, and we are not at full of life.
A welcome sight.
So, chamber this time certainly does help.
Something has stirred within your heart, dearest. Oh, I can always tell. A certain kind of love for family? Yes, that must be it, I think. What could have transpired with you,
I don't know. So we could have our dash inflict weak, where we end up. Weak, of course, reducing the amount of damage that enemies deal, so that's helpful defensively. Doesn't deal a ton of damage. Otherwise, when foes are slain, they damage nearby foes and inflict weak. That could be also quite interesting. Combination of damage and defense. Otherwise, after we take damage, damage foes around and inflict weak. So this way, this is probably the most defensive in that when we're taking damage, that's presumably when we're in the most dangerous situation, and so making it so that enemies deal less damage on those occasions could be quite helpful. Otherwise, this one's a little bit more of a combination of offense and defense, where if we're a little bit more proactive with taking people out, then presumably this might be a little bit better. So let's go with this one. A little bit higher rarity as well, so that might be a tiebreaker there.
There we go.
Back to full life. Also great there. For a second, I also thought this was a fishing spot. Have we seen any fishing spots yet? I feel like I must have missed one. At this rate, I'd be surprised if we've gone this far without anything. Oh, and I honestly didn't even realize there was a golden urn there. But sure. And we will go into a shop next, so I suppose that's fitting.
Steady now.
Just shy of 300 obols. Oh, this is the last room. For the boss fight, it would seem. With side hustle, that brings us up to 300 here. So we can purchase a Dionysus boon, and also a random upgrade. I think both those things are worthwhile. As for the key, maybe a little less so. There are lots of urns here, and I know it's just saying.
Wasn't me.
Couldn't actually see the golden urn previously, but I do find that in this room, it's always tough to tell. Okay, but now that we've broken that stuff, let's definitely pick this up.
Here's the fee.
Oh man, so many times now that we can swap things out, one boon for another. Would we rather have the Doom on our attack or the Hangover? Now these are two, I would argue, almost polar opposites. And the Doom rewards slow, hard-hitting attacks, whereas the Hangover rewards quick attacks. So, again, with our bow, though, I feel like, for the most part, we're charging things up. We're kind of slow with the attacks. So, it would be interesting if we did have a different weapon here, or if we were emphasizing a little bit more of the speed, but I don't think we are. So I think that means either Drunken Flourish for the special, or Positive Outlook for taking less damage while on low HP. This is interesting, because bear in mind, 40% damage, sure, that's relatively low HP, but when you're sitting on 274 life, and presumably only going to go up from there, then suddenly, that's a lot of life that exists below 40%. We could spend a long time in that 15% damage reduction territory, so I do like Positive Outlook here. Let's give that a shot. And we do still have 155 obols, so next shop we could still purchase another boon. And let's head on in to see our little Hydra friend here.
Another new look for you, I see, Bone Hydra.
Oh, think this time. Sure. We'll throw a cast at you. Okay, you are the laser beam kind, it would seem. But yes, you are absolutely dropping those bloodstones more quickly. So this is the occasion where I think that's going to be most significant against bosses, where, of course, we are normally going to be taking them out after just one... Whoa, hello! After just one round of bloodstones. So getting them back soon is big. These little heads, though, it seems like it's almost enough. Not quite. Get our bloodstones back, we did. Okay. Remember, we do still have our call. Normally, I do like to save those for when we have our meter fully charged, which means that typically it's something I'll only do during actual boss fights, but... Ooh, okay, we resisted that one, fortunately. Missed the dodge that time. Ooh, that is... yeah. Not a great place to be standing for that, I suppose. And that one, yeah, same thing. That was just sloppy positioning on my part. But I think we're pretty close to this next phase here. There it is. As for the other heads... See, like, that's tough to avoid. I don't know what the technical best way to do it is. Ooh, okay, not a fan of those ranged projectiles either. It's a little hard when they're coming from off screen to prepare for them. And one head down. We already took one out earlier, but there's another one. Fortunately, it seemed like, well, at least for a moment there, you guys were not really aiming at us. These projectiles. Not been doing the best job of avoiding them, so getting you down early would help. Now you're down. There's another one that's been shooting the projectiles. We're close to having a greater call. We don't quite have it yet. So I think for that reason we'll save it up for the main head once all these guys are down. And just in time at that. So we just walk right up next to you, do some of this, and look at the damages. A lot. That's why I like to save it. Save it for what is usually, in the last phase, going to be the most difficult part of the fight, and we did take, like I said, more damage than I would have liked, but fortunately,
Some darkness.
darkness is more than enough. We get back to full HP, and of course we would heal as well. Upon going into this chamber here and go into the well, the fountain I should say.
You are testing my patience.
As for the actual well, we could, pick up any of these, but again, they're all temporary things. I'm looking mostly for long-term benefits, things that are going to last more than just a few chambers, because, yeah, once you start getting to Elysium, things do get more difficult. So I suppose there is something to be said for having a little bit more life restoration or movement speed, but still think that maybe we want to save up for the big shops. And just to confirm on the Acorn, we're 18 encounters away from that ranking up to rank 3. So I don't think it's going to happen in Elysium. But assuming we make it out in the Temple of Styx, it will definitely happen there, I would think. Okay. Let's keep on moving.
That's it for ASPHODEL.
Indeed, that's it for ASPHODEL. And yeah, at this point, I would say we probably have about 100 more HP than we would normally have at this stage, so that's one of the big things we've been doing. Side Hustle makes it so that we're consistently gaining some mobiles, even if we're not making a point of picking them up. Oh, okay, so I know we've been trying to get a lot of max HP. I might draw the line here, though. The hammer is big. I think we gotta do this. It's tough. It's really tough. You could definitely make a case for either of them. But we'll see what we get here. Of course, the hammer, I think, on the high end, has a higher potential to be great. We might find that it's not, or that we don't get any options that we particularly like, though, in which case the hammer could be worse, so it's a little bit more of a high-risk, high-reward approach we went for this time. Hopefully we find that it pays off. You. There will be another wave. There's the crit. Sure we do actually take you out though, in your eyeball form. Simple enough when we crit, of course. There we go. So here's the hammer. We do have, ooh, 2 more that give scrolls. These might even be the ones that we saw earlier. I think they are. Otherwise, your attack deals plus 300 damage in an area, but charges up slower. I think this is more or less exactly what we're looking for. In that we are going, like I said before, with slow, powerful attacks. That's what we were doing with the Doom. That's why we passed up on things like Dionysus's attack boon. So I think we do probably still want to do this. It will be slow on the attacks, for sure. But with triple shot, I think it's going to pay off. And the Doom, and if we can find any other ways to scale the damage, that'd be great as well. Here we have Palm or Opals. I think this is the occasion where we probably will still go for the Opals. palms. I'm not a huge fan of those. Ooh. And we'll take a little bit of getting used to our new slower attack speed. Yes. It is a little bit tricky with these guys, because of course if you're too slow, then they will come back. Our cast, fortunately, is, well, when you don't shoot it into a wall, usually speedy enough to do some of the work for us. Next wave. Ooh, butterflies, okay. Let's see if we can get rid of some of you guys early. That's actually the shades. From far. Not for long, it isn't rearming. Still one over. Yes, there it is. Hiding in the corner. So took a little bit of damage. But now, after picking up the Obel Room, suddenly we have our fair share of those. We're looking at Aphrodite or Palm here. Oh, also, well, okay, let's check this out. Gain Obels, lose life. We do have a lot of life. Starting to accumulate a fair amount of Obels as well. Not necessarily sure this does much for us, unless we're confident it will heal back that life, I suppose. Maybe we go for it for that reason. If we're confident that we aren't going to take too much damage here, I suppose.
I'm rich.
Okay, and then I'm thinking here we go with Aphrodite. Give this a shot. And got some champion versions of these guys. Hit you with some casts as well. You're still alive. Not for long. Not if we have anything to do with that. Oh, I really thought that was going to take you out. I got missed on the cast. There we go. Ooh, that's a lot of projectiles you're shooting there. And a butterfly spawner as well. One step at a time here. Get rid of the guy who respawns. He's down. Now let's get rid of you guys. Butterflies are almost down. Except, oh, I didn't realize there's one over here as well. Okay, I would like these bloodstones, thank you. This guy I thought was like one life remaining. So yeah, took a little more damage than we would have liked. Let's see what Aphrodite has. Ooh, okay. My eye, of course, immediately jumps to the epic boon, but one step at a time here. Special, with a fair bit of damage at that, and inflicts weak. Haven't been doing a lot of it, though. Any life... Oh, wait, what? Any increase to your total life are worth more? I thought this was going to be life restoration at first, but we already have a lot of that going on. That is really tempting. That's, like I was saying before, largely the thing that we were trying to do. So, of course, we would have loved to have gotten this earlier on, but I think we have enough ways to boost our max life that we can still put this to good use. Give this a shot. Of course, the epic boon, yes, is always tempting, but okay, now we could go to CHARON, and we have 460 obels, so we could get a fair amount there, assuming that he's selling some expensive stuff. If he's just selling life restoration and darkness and gems and keys, then that's not going to do too much for us, because we'd like to spend big. Ares would be a free boon. It is a mini-boss, so it could prove to be somewhat difficult. Let's see how much we can get. We're hoping for double boons, or hammer and a boon, and we get mystery boon and max life. Well, I suppose we did just make it so that this now gives us, rather than 25 life, now 33, so it's a little bit better. Oh, and borrow 300. Hold on a second here. If we were to buy this, it's Dionysus. We could get the epic special. We could get the Drunken Dash, which I think is a pretty strong dash in terms of damage, or After Party. If your HP is low after encounters, restore to 30% HP when we have high maximum HP. Again, I think 30% of what is soon to be 300 life is a lot. So, that's tempting. Even if it's just normal rarity. feel like we're kind of trying to do that, right? That's sort of our thing at the moment. So maybe we increase our max life here, and yes, it is now over 300. Now we could even go this route if we felt so inclined. It would be a bit of an overheal, yes. Just check what our next rooms might be. Oh, Patroclus or Obels. Those are very tempting. Nothing we can do with the boat, unfortunately. Now, I do believe this is perhaps something new from the Blood Price, which was, I believe, the most recent expansion in early access. Basically, the thing that happened just before the full release. So, we can try this, but I think we're gonna find that something might happen.
Wow, thank you, CHARON.
I appreciate that, CHARON. Or not.
Sorry.
We're in EREBUS? Sorry, CHARON?
CHARON, look, I can explain.
Really,
It's just,
we can.
I've grown very accustomed to taking stuff throughout my father's realm.
It's true.
I wasn't stealing from you, honestly.
Really, we weren't. I mean, it did say borrow in, like, red text, yes, but sure, you know, it was an honest mistake. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I don't think Charon's happy.
That was not an understanding sound. Wait, why are you brandishing your oar in such a menacing way?
Charon? Look, we can talk this out, okay? Maybe we can't.
It's because you're going to kill me.
Yeah. So I've never fought Charon before. This is my first try. But I have reason to believe this could prove to be very difficult. Those are some pretty dramatic attacks at the very least. Seems as though he has a bit of a thing here, where he has those guys that, whoa, come shooting out. Oh, I did not like that angle. I much prefer when you are on this other side, for whatever reason. I feel like it's easier to dodge. There we go. Do this. This is better. For some reason. That is humongous area on that. Yeah, stay over here, please. Just easier to dodge on this side for some reason. I'm pretty sure I walked straight into that after saying that. Okay, yep, that's incoming, sure. Oh, yep. More of the same. So we are probably going to lose the Death Defiance here, I would assume, at least one. But I mean, if we can take him out. Oh, that from both sides simultaneously? Charon! How dare you? That's mean. That's very mean. Okay, where are they coming from this time? Both sides again? Yes, both sides again. All the time. Oh, gosh. Left and right as well? Turn into a totally different genre of game here, if you know what I mean. So, previously, we saw that Patroclus was showing up just after Charon. I don't know if that's still going to be the case if we do make it out of here, which I'm not sure we will. That was a terrible shot there. But that could be a way to say, like, get back all our Death Defiances that we are probably about to lose. So, hopefully that works out for us. Okay, we don't want to be next to you, because you have a ginormous AoE. We know this. Okay. And you guys spawning right next to us. Yes. Dash through them. Charon has the huge AoE. Try not to get hit by it. I would like to get these back, though. Ideally, there's the first Death Defiance. 150 life back, though, is big. And Charon might be going to the next phase here, with his invulnerability there. Which is concerning, given how he has been, well, not exactly easy thus far. Okay. Dodging these, please. Oh, now was he shooting those projectiles before? He may have been. He may have been. I probably do still prefer this to what you were doing before, though. Okay, you might have enough AoE to hit us even from there, which is crazy, but this is what you're doing before. Mostly just trying to use our cast whenever we have the opportunity to do so. Oh! Don't have to fully take him out. He was not on 0 life there. What does that mean? Use your words, Charon. Use your words.
No way, a membership card for me?
What? A library card? How did you know? Get 20% off?
Look at these savings.
It's like it's my birthday. There was definitely something in the corner there as well. Oh, what? Now we're going to a mini boss fight? I was hoping we were gonna have Patroclus after this. Yeah, there might have still been something else in the room to take in the top left corner there, above and beyond the membership card. So hopefully we didn't miss anything big there. Might have been some kind of lore. Okay. Butterfly dude down. We did also have, I did not use our call at all in that Charon fight, so potentially that going for us. Didn't need to. Might have been able to, well, arguably could have saved some damage, yes. But I don't think we would have saved a Death Defiance. I mean, it's a fair bit more life than that. I'd like to get rid of the ranged people. That would be fantastic. Where are you? You over here? That's not gonna hit you, though. Now, this might, though. Okay, now I want to get rid of you, though, before you come back. Please go down. Thank you. Okay, you're down. Just you remaining? Shouldn't be too bad. There we go, okay. Yeah, so we did use a single Death Defiance there on, like I said, that was my first ever Charon fight, so all in all, I think for that reason, I'll take it. I was half expecting for us to just immediately die, so sure. Oh, you're gonna say Charon.
But I have just the thing to go with her.
Oh? Could it be? Ah, I was hoping you'd have a duo balloon for us. So we could have... I thought we picked up Drunken Dash. Did we not opt to do that? This would be an epic version of it, which is quite powerful. Or it's Strong Drink. Sing a Fountain restores all life and gives you bonus damage. This is another one that is best early on. Because, yes, restoring to full life is useful, especially when you have a ton of HP like we do. But that bonus damage, obviously the earlier you get that, the more fountains you get to use, the more that will start to stockpile up. So, well, the thing is, we're in, what? Elysium now. We'll get the chamber at the end of this. In theory, the chamber at the end of Temple Styx. But that's, the minimum would be 2 for 8% damage. Is not a lot. So, not thrilled about that at this stage. It does have a scroll, so at some point we would want to pick this up, but I think this is one of those things that, much like many of the other boons that we picked up early, we would love to have had, I mean, ideally, way back in Tartarus. So maybe we do go with the Drunken Dash here, because I think an epic one of those is still a very nice pickup. Ooh, almost missed that. And we do now have 600 opals, with the discount, no less, and let's pick up some life. Pretty low life here at the moment. Ooh. So, oh, and of course, immediately after choosing not to take the boon that gives you power up whenever you go to a fountain, we find ourselves at a fountain. But it is still enough to get us to full HP here, and we are at 340. We could get another max life upgrade. I mean, we got to, right? Either that or a palm? Yeah. No question, right? See how high we can get in terms of the max life. You guys could have just, like, stayed paying zero attention to us. That would have been preferable. Did want to destroy this glowy uppy thing. Oh, I totally forgot about those traps. And that could be just the time we were looking for there. Sure. Don't mind if I do. Who's next? Blow this up. Same idea here. Don't stand there, though. That would be silly for us to die to that, of all things. But at this rate, it could happen. Well, I suppose we did just get our life restored. I was thinking we were still back on roughly 100 life. Which, I mean, if we're not careful, could see that still happen here. Ideally not, though. Okay, you gotta go. You gotta go. None of that. None of that. Thank you. Yeah, so definitely more damage than we would have liked to have taken there, but still, 33 max life on each of these hearts is big. We could find wells that also give us the, what is it, Centaur Spirit or something like that, that gives us the max life, but not restoring that much life. That would also be great, but we haven't seen any of those yet. Those are pretty expensive. We could go to the shop, or go to Aphrodite. Now, like we were saying, we do have that discount, and we do have a fair number of coins right now, so shop is not a bad idea, by any means. On the other hand, going to Aphrodite would mean getting what amounts to more or less a free boon, so that's also tempting. I mean, on one hand, if we don't spend the opals now, we could just go crazy once we do make it to the Temple Sticks, which would also be nice. But there's still only so many things you can purchase there, because that's, of course, the last shop. Maybe we do hold out, though. Because there are still those small wells. And this is what appears to be the last room before the final boss of this floor. Yeah, I don't think there's any other golden urns here. So, my idea there is that if we do find, ideally, that we find a Kiss of Sticks, which is the item from the wells that gives you a Death Defiance back, and that would be great, because we did, of course, have to use one against CHARON. I mean, if you look at our total HP here, and the fact that we have 2 Death Defiance remaining, that is probably still roughly equivalent to the maximum HP that you would normally have with 3 Death Defiances, so in that respect, maybe we're still doing okay.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see here. We can have our special have more damage. We can, after we take damage, inflict weak. We saw this previously. Or resist some damage from nearby foes. 13%. That is a somewhat high number, especially if you bear in mind that we already have, at least I thought we picked up, that boon from Dionysus at one point. This. Positive outlook. Take 15% less damage when we're on 40% HP or lower. If we're on 40% HP or lower, and we're also going against enemies from close range, then that's a lot of damage that we are mitigating there. So that is tempting. Especially if we're thinking of the final boss. That could be quite useful. Otherwise, I mean, this is too. Inflicting weak to nearby enemies. I suppose this one's a little more straightforward. A little more likely for that to be triggering on the regular. So this is going to be a difficult fight, because we don't have a lot of pure damage boons here. We have our cast, and we have some hammer upgrades for our attack.
The monster has returned in a vainglorious attempt to wrest the titled champion from me.
But we'll have to see. I mean, I'm really hoping we don't have to blow through another Death Defiance here. Otherwise, at that point in time, it's going to be very difficult for us to win this one.
Though, shouldn't you share it with the Minotaur? He's more than half the reason you've been in any trouble.
It's true. Something tells me Theseus is not the sharing type, though.
Mysterious and I share a fraternal bond forged from the strongest bronze, nay, adamant. You have caused us both offense, so die.
Sorry. Guess we'll just have to be the champion in that case. Remember that we do, of course, have the acorn. So at least, at the beginning, we're resisting damage. Of course, did have to use some of that right there. Oh, that one. Sloppy positioning. I thought we had a dash remaining. Apparently did not. Okay, so we probably do want to think a little bit about which one we want to ideally take out first. Normally, I do Asterius first, and then save Theseus for last. I think I might stand by that here. Oh, we are out of bloodstones, so one moment please, while we do something about that. And that Drunken Dash can be effective as well, dealing some damage here and there. Theseus, please don't do that. Okay, well, seriously, if you want to charge right into the wall, that, I suppose, is fine. Just don't charge right into us. That's less than ideal. Here it comes. Maybe. Yeah, see, like, our damage is quite low here, actually. We're relying pretty heavily on getting crits with our cast, and when that doesn't happen, then, well, our damage is not very high. That's what I mean, in that this is going to have to be a pretty slow and steady, patient fight. Because I think if we do lose another Death Defiance here, then it's going to be really hard to come back from that. almost got me there, Theseus. Minotaur, not sure what you were doing there. Is that technically your phase there? Looks like you were on roughly half HP. Definitely below that now, so that's a good sign. We do, of course, still have our call, but as I said before, I do like to save it, especially against these two, like Theseus when he has the gods working in his favor. Oh, hello, Asterius! Then that is certainly far more difficult than he is when he does not have the gods working in his favor. Oh, I was hoping we could get to that stanchion just in time. We could not. The acorn has worn off here. Ooh, that was not good either. Ooh, he's charging. That was lucky that we avoided that one. Hoping that we get a little bit of poison on Asterius there. Ooh, so took damage from Theseus in the process. We have the greater call on now. I'd like to get rid of Asterius and then use it on Theseus. That's what I'm thinking. There is Asterius down. Right. And you do have less life, I believe, than Asterius. So that should mean that this should be a little bit quicker. It's also, in theory, a little bit easier to take you out the bow than many other weapons, because it's easier to get you when you have your back turned like that. So again, we can sort of play patiently here. Now, we don't quite have that range, though. It's the downside. And I don't mean getting exiled. Could throw some of these in as well. Of course, that'll help. Deliberately trying to wait until we get into half HP. Then things get complicated, like I said. Surprised that hit you. Oh. We were not in a circle there. Just like to point that out. Damn. One hit should do it here, I would think. Oh, he gets us on the return there. That's not the best on our part. That one probably deserved to hit us more than the other one did. Not quite at half HP here. Surprises me a little bit. That will do it, though. Get these back. Now he's mad. It's Poseidon. I'm not sure that makes too much of a difference, actually. And now we do some of this. And this is why I was saving it. We can load up on this damage. And make this phase far more straightforward. Okay, a few more hits, and that should do it. Ooh, got hit by a Poseidon there. I think that's what that was. And that one as well. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so ultimately did not need to use Death Defiance. That was the big thing. And like I said, the damage is a little lackluster at the moment because we passed up on several damage upgrades in order to boost that life as much as we did.
You are my biggest fan.
That Shade there, the one person who supports us. Thanks, Shade. We need you.
To entertain you, Shades.
I suppose that I shall be seeing you quite soon.
I suppose so. So now we are back on full life, fortunately. What we're hoping to find is a Kiss of Styx from one of these wells here. Because I think at this point that is one of the only ways for us to get a Death Defiance back. In theory, there is an Athena boon that could do it, but I don't think we've seen Athena at all, and at this stage, I don't think we'd find her unless we were to, say, swap over to Athena's keepsake, and maybe that could do it. But it seems like, at this stage, now would be a strange time to switch off of the Acorn. We were largely powering it up for this very moment, so it seems like we did the part that the Acorn's not great at, and now this is its time to shine. So, I mean, if there's anything we want to sell here, but I think at 727 obols, doing fine in that regard, and we should be more than capable of purchasing some things here, especially bearing in mind that Side Hustle, I believe, triggers in each of those little mini rooms in the Temple of Styx. So we should get tons and tons of obols here. There are seemingly always gold urns here. There's one. There's another. That'll help as well. So we're up to the temple. We seriously not found a single
You're not
fishing
angry
spot.
with me, are you, CHARON, mate?
That is an interesting question. We can't talk to him. We can still gift him something. I'm curious what he does here. Huh? Oh.
Glad you like it, mate. Thank you for helping me out with your supply, even if you fleeced me with those prices.
Well, I mean, did get a discount. So, let's take a look here. We are actually, I would think, certainly capable of picking up a Titan Blood here if we were to go through a few more rooms. Should be pretty straightforward. Otherwise, though, we probably could buy everything else. I mean, maybe not immediately. Not quite. I think we want to make sure that we always have at least 200 obols on hand, in case we do find that Kiss of Styx from any of the wells. Other than that, though, the earlier we pick up these things, probably the better, because we can benefit from them for the entirety of... Oh! The entirety of the Temple of Styx. Okay. Thinking we probably take Greater Recall. We did have it, such that these are dropping more quickly. Remember, it was... I thought it was a Hermes Boon before. Quick Reload? Yeah. So between Quick Reload and Greater Recall, that should mean that we are getting back our Bloodstones very quickly and very easily. So, what with our gas being our strongest skill at the moment, seems like that's a pretty strong pickup for us.
Time to pick up the pace.
Yeah. So we could even consider picking up something else here. Like I said, I think we don't want to take Artemis just yet, because that would drop us pretty low, and we would not be able to purchase a Kiss of Styx if that were to show up immediately at a well. We could perhaps consider going Aphrodite now. That much would still give us enough margin, so we could go that route.
Don't spend it all in one place, mate.
So many times we've had the option to swap one boon out for another. We were talking earlier about how different league could perhaps be useful for us defensively, and now I think that was a rare version before, and this time it's epic, so I think we'd probably go this route here. The Doom has been solid on our attacks. I mean, I do think that Heartbreak Strike is a fair bit more damage, actually. Hold on a second here. Because consider how we got a hammer upgrade. Triple shot, yes, but I'm thinking of the explosive shot for plus 300% damage. That seems like that might actually work better with Heartbreak Strike than it does the Doom? I don't know. We'd like to have both of these, I would think. Possibly worth checking which rooms we were going to have before committing to any of these things, just to have a better sense of, for example, are we going to have an Aphrodite room that we could go into and perhaps pick up one of these other boons? Possibly. I think I might actually go with Heartbreak Strike here, because different league, I think we'd be fine with this being any rarity. The epic rarity is nice, but when Heartbreak Strike is epic rarity like this for 96% increased damage, I think that is, on this occasion, going to be a strong upgrade.
Ares won't mind,
I
maybe.
think. We've also swapped off Ares' boons several times here. So yes, there is another Aphrodite room. Dionysus, Artemis. Mini bosses are Obols and Palm. That's probably a good thing, because I don't think the Palm is ever going to be one of our strongest options, so we might just go for that one last. I'm thinking we prioritize the Aphrodite next. See what we get for this one. Oh, I did not realize that was a satyr over there. He's been poisoned. And we should be using our cast very aggressively, so remember, we can get it back very easily. But you guys just do not want to go down, do you? But you're still up? What? Ow! That was crazy. I think we don't have a ton of range on our attacks, so it might not have been charging up quite long enough to make it all the way to our opponents. These guys are actually a little bit tricky, because they're fast. We don't have a lot of speed. There we go. We are, at least in theory, hitting a little bit harder, at least with our base attack. We, of course, no longer have the follow-up damage on the Doom. But I think we'll find that that still is preferable. Did that all hit this killer here? It might have. Yeah, these are definitely, at least the initial numbers. How the heck did you get over here? At least the initial numbers are definitely much higher than what we saw before. As they should be. You are a champion. Are you gonna bring any little rat friends, or is it just you? Ooh, let's not stand in that. That was silly. That's gonna be enough to take you out, though. And fortunately, just a little bit of damage from that, but of course, not our smartest move there. And this is the final room down this route, meaning that this is not the area with the satyr sack. Probably would have been interested in going down additional rooms, even if this was one with the satyr sack, because there were some interesting options. Other boons that we would probably still like to pick up. Probably use these immediately upon getting them back. Oh, you still won. There we go. Now they'll come back to us. Throw them again. There we go. Lose another wave, and it does have satyrs. You know what I'm targeting with the cast. Still won't have that. Now we should. Oh, except I threw it at the wall. Nope, that's not who I wanted. That's who I wanted. There we go. Now we take you out. Another wave. Wow. Long one. Okay, let's crush some people perhaps, as we can. Get rid of you. You're making life a little bit difficult. And you as well. Both of you. Okay. Thinking you're the last one? There we go. So Aphrodite, what do you have for us this time? Will it be the same boon that you've offered us several times and we've come close to taking,
In the name of
but
Hades.
never quite opted to do? We've never had Empty Inside before that has a scroll. Your weak effects have longer duration. That might be worth double checking. Where are all of our weak effects coming from? Because we do have it on our attack now. So that should be applied almost all the time. It's also if people hit us, right? We damage foes around us and inflict weak. So that's plus 5 seconds is a long time. It starts with just 4-second duration, so that's more than double. The alternatives being weak afflicted foes are more susceptible to damage. So this is going to be a pretty consistent plus 22% damage because, like we were saying, we're going to have enemies inflicted by weak pretty much all the time between our attack and us getting attacked. I think the special is definitely the odd man out. Pure defense or pure offense? I think we do have a lot of defense happening already, but this would further emphasize that we can play the slow and steady pace and go war of attrition on people. Maybe we give this a shot, but I think, again, they're both great. And is there anything else in here? I don't think so. So let's head back.
Let's just go down this satyr hole.
Now there's a fishing spot. Okay. Let's check this one out. It's been a while. Yeah. Oh, and I jumped on it as soon as it bobbled. Oh, man. How to practice when you only give me the first fishing spot in Temple of Styx. Okay, so we do have a little bit more in the way of obols now, because of course we have a side hustle that is giving us 10 coins every time we enter one of those little rooms. So we could, perhaps, consider picking up this palm here. Anything else would drop us below 200 obols, which we probably don't want to do at this stage, like we were saying before. So I think we do this.
I'll pay for that.
And I think we want to upgrade our cast, for sure. That is the primary thing that we have that's dealing damage. Damage resistance, yeah, I mean, these other things are helpful too, don't get me wrong, but our primary source of damage is definitely still the cast. The dash is helping, definitely is, but we could maybe get more Dionysus stuff here. Let's see. See that golden urn? Oh, what? Oh, you're still alive? I did not realize that. Okay. Let's keep on going. That's happened on a few occasions this run. People hiding in the corners. Well, we really want those wells. Don't stand there. I swear, I'm interacting with that. You could come away from the poison? Thank you. And there is a well. It does not have what we were most looking forward to, that being the Kiss of Sticks. Could... Start encounters with our God gauge 15% full. I mean, if we were to go into the boss fight while this is still active, that could be fantastic. However, otherwise, it's not super relevant. It's only 12 ovals, which is not a lot. We do have a lot of ovals, so I think at the very least we can probably pick it up because it's not going to be much of a difference maker spending 12 ovals here. The other stuff we could theoretically restore a bit of life because we are definitely not on full here. Remember that we will restore life when we do find the Satyr Sack. So maybe we're okay on that front. This could also restore a little bit of life as well. A little bit cheaper, again. Maybe not super pressed for obols right now because we have the side hustle that's giving us the additional coins. We have the discount at the shop. Did the rat take all those casts? Fortunately, we did get poisoned at the very end of the room, but it does seem as though we automatically lose the poison after taking everyone out. Okay. Too many satyrs. One satyr is too many satyrs. Two satyrs is far too many satyrs. I saw there's a little bit of a sparkle there. I knew there was going to be golden urn, so yeah, close to 400 obols here. But probably approaching the end of this route. It does not have Satyr Sack, notably. And one of you down. Try getting rid of the other. Still getting through that? That's not cool. Fortunately, automatically getting our bloodstones back does make this game of cat and mouse a little bit easier. More HP than I'd like, though.
Come die again.
Satyr. Gonna make this a little more complicated. Mini boss Satyr at that. Champion means, yes, that it can shoot multiple projectiles, meaning that we definitely want to get to this. Thank you. Please don't hit us. It can shoot, yeah, multiple shots when it attacks, so it is harder to dodge in that way. Down? It is down. More enemies, of course. As for which kinds that have range, to speak generally. Ooh, man. He'd still manage to get us there. There we go. Okay. Definitely took more damage than I would have liked. Just seeing if there's anything else in here. Aside from the boon, doesn't seem as though that's the case, so we hope for something big here.
Now that when it comes to feasting, it's yours truly here who puts on the best performance. But I do have Lady Aphrodite's help.
Oh? Go on.
Wine does have a rather special way of making everybody look even more beautiful than ever, Dionysus dear. And from such beauty, why long-lasting love is born. And also shorter-lasting love, much of the time.
I suppose that too. So, that does mean that we will get low tolerance. Your hangover effects can stack more times against weak foes. We could swap out our attack again. We have not yet picked up strong drink. We saw this earlier. In theory, there's one fountain remaining. This is definitely not the time to take it. So we can have +3 maximum stacks of hangover against enemies that also have weak on them. Remember, we're getting the poison from, or hangover, from our dash. And we are getting the weak from our attack, as well as from when we take damage. So I think that's fairly likely for that to happen. We'd have to make a bit of a point of dashing right next to people to maximize the amount of hangovers that we're inflicting. But I think the weak part's going to be pretty much automatic. So it's not amazing unless we make a committed effort to it. But I think we can pull it off. I think we can make it more than worthwhile. So let's give it a shot. And so now we are sitting on 468 obols. So we could take this palm here, and then, running out of rooms. I'm thinking we'd probably go Artemis next. Yeah, let's take the palm now.
I'll take it.
And we can double upgrade. This is a super palm. We can double upgrade our attack. That would be pretty big. Or take less damage, or significantly less damage when we're below 40% HP. Increase the revenge damage. This more than doubles the amount of damage, but I think that we're using our attack, of course, far more often than anything else. But I think this is probably still the way to go. In terms of the percentage increase, it might have actually been the lowest, but because we're using it so frequently, I think that is still preferable. Hopefully it pays off. We'll see. And yes, the damage is big. And there is the Evergreen Acorn ranking up just in time at that. So, it's ready. Are we? We'll have to see. If you could just keep your poison over there, that would be great. And, ooh, gold urn.
Lots
Sure.
of coin there.
But we're still hoping for a well. Ooh, don't like these guys, of course. Okay. Took care of you easily enough, fortunately. This is the last room. So, let's break the urns. There are actually a few golden ones at that. Then we're going to have to ask ourselves the question of, do we feel like it's worth going down additional routes? Oh man, another duo boon. Wow, okay. So, let's take a look here. We can have the chance for critical on our special. We've basically been ignoring our special, working on our attack and our cast instead. Hangover-afflicted foes are more likely to take critical damage. Bonus critical chance per hangover. Oh, 1.5%. So that means that, if you compare that to pressure points here, if we were to apply at least... Oh, I kicked the controller that is currently sitting on the ground and is plugged into my computer. That's how that happened. If we get at least 3 hangover effects, then we have done better than pressure points would do. So pressure points is a little bit more consistent because we don't need that hangover to be applied to have that 4% crit chance, but 3 or more, and we are better off with splitting headache. So I think we do this. That means that we have a lot of reasons now to try to stack those poisons, those hangovers. They used to be called poison.
Thanks, you two.
So let's do that.
I'll just
Get the
tuck
Satyr
that
Sack.
away.
Get back up to full life. And I'm thinking... Let's double check for a second here. We had that item from the well that made it so that we started with a higher god gauge, and we didn't end up having that for what could be the boss fight right now.
Maybe I should check the other passageways before
If we had one more room remaining with that still in effect, I'd say let's go right now, and then we can still have the benefit from it. It's already worn off, so it's not like there's any reason to rush in, other than if we felt that we would take damage from going down these routes. Because remember, we just got our big heal from that previous room. We won't have that again. So we'd be relying on wells or darkness or other forms of healing. Not too many of those at this rate. For us to be back on full life, going into that boss fight. And the hope would be that this palm, or these obols, would be a difference maker. And the thing with that is, the obols, if you look at what we can buy at the shop, we can already afford the Artemis boon. So it's not going to allow us to afford any more upgrades before the boss fight, so that's not going to be a difference maker. Unless we were to find something from a well along the way. And then the palm, it would allow us to upgrade one of our existing skills, and that would be helpful, yes, but I think, generally speaking, other boons are going to be more effective than the palm. So for that reason, I think what we do at this stage is, yeah, we are going to want to pick up the Artemis boon here, and then we're going to go into the fight.
Just what I need.
So we did see support fire previously, and we turned it down, saying that although it can be really strong sometimes, that is most notably when you have really fast attacks, casts, or specials. It does work with casts as well, though. We can do quite quick casts. So maybe that's reason enough. But our attack is definitely slow. Otherwise, after we crit a foe, a nearby foe is marked. That's a little bit tough in a boss encounter. Yes, final boss does have friends, but that's maybe a little bit too much micromanaging in that fight. So I feel like support fire is maybe the best option for us here, because we're already going to be pretty concerned with trying to use our dash to inflict the hangover, to take advantage of splitting headache and low tolerance, and in addition to doing the more traditional casting and attacking for damage as well. So I think that's enough factors that we're talking about there, that adding in trying to also target the person who has the mark effect, and that seems like perhaps a recipe for disaster. So let's keep it a little bit simple here. Go with support fire. Does mean that for our attacks at least, it's not going to be terribly effective, but I'm thinking for our casts, could be helpful. CHARON, wish us luck. So we are still down at Death Defiance. That is unfortunate, but as I was saying before, with 373 life, we could do the math here, but I think that, generally speaking, the amount of life that we have right now might still be more than you would often have, or at least very close to what you would often have, even if you had all 3 Death Defiances going into this fight. So let's give this a shot.
All 3 of its attentions toward the satyr sack.
Oh.
See you, boy.
Yeah, and sort of vanquished, but not really. And of course, the objective here, make it back to Mom.
Every blasted time.
Yeah, something tells me he's still gonna be here.
There you are. Then let us now commence this ugly business yet again.
Oh, you want to get straight into the action then? Sure. Let's do it. Okay, so we definitely want to use our cast immediately. Ooh, that did use our acorns. That's not good. I was hoping we were going to be far enough away that that would not have needed it. Shoot those casts as quickly as we can. Oh, and I think that one used one as well. And you disappeared. Yes, there you are. But I think because we have our... Oh, man. The area of effect on them is always just a little bit bigger than I expect them to be. But, I think because we have the ability to get our casts back, our bloodstones back automatically, makes it a lot easier for us to dodge, focus on just, well, not getting hit. Remember, we can inflict a lot of hangovers, and that is very effective. Okay, I think that was actually our last of the acorns there. We will take damage now, which is unfortunate. But we have a lot of our meter full at this point. That's bad damage as well. That should help. Again, that's something that I would ideally like to save for the final phase, because it was, of course, far more difficult then. Okay, save the cast for when we can actually hit him, of course. Ooh, didn't quite have enough dashes to get out of the way that time. He is almost full here. There is the Greater Call, now available to us. Ooh, you still hit us with that, didn't you?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we're getting some back now. Man. Too much of those heads. Way too many of those. Not a fan of that right now. I don't care too much about the re-armoring, to be honest. Okay, well, except I should not just stand still like that. That's never a good idea. Yeah, that was maybe not a good place to be standing there. Oh my goodness. Look at how much damage you just took. But that's phase 1. How quickly are you going to get mad at us? That's the question. Now, I think we are going to want to use our special quite soon. Perhaps even right now. Because when you're using this attack, we can still damage you, I think. Yes, we can. And that also means that we don't have to worry about, well, taking damage from your most powerful attack. So that's nice. Except you're using this again. And we still cast, well, I mean, we get back our Bloodstone, so that's helpful too. So that's big. And a lot of this damage that we dealt was, of course, from our full call. Oop, I thought you were about to use your big attack there, to be honest. So it's a little bit misleading there, how much damage we've dealt. We are close to using our first Death Defiance here. Next attack probably would be it. Oh, here it comes. There we go. Bloodstone's back, though. That's very nice. Doing this is the first time we've seen you do it this fight. I think it is definitely best with the bow, though, because we can get stuck in the corner like that. Just dash into a wall there. Take him out from afar. Not have them trigger right on top of us. You actually trigger him on yourself, you might be able to. Okay, you're doing something here. Oh, you're bringing him back? Okay, sure. Ow. Okay, maybe that one wasn't great. What are you doing this time? Getting mad? Question mark? This time you are. Okay, I think we avoided much of the damage there, fortunately. Please don't. Ooh, hit us with that. Right, you actually did blow our blood that time. Clever. Okay, you're doing something. Yup. Oh, that did hit us. Did not think it would. He's low. You definitely want to get behind this, though. Oh, that was a nasty combo. We're pretty low on HP here. This is getting dangerous. So is he. Perhaps. That was a bad shot on my part there. Whenever I can't see, that does make me a little bit nervous. But there he is. He's down.
You're not going to cooperate with me on this, are you?
Death Defiance to spare at that.
Mother wants to see me again.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously we now know that Mother exists and is out there on the surface, and so can't deny us that anymore. So what gives, Hades?
Blast you. You shall ruin everything. With all your damnable questions.
This would be a lot more straightforward if you would answer them. Then, maybe we would stop having to fight you all the time. Stop causing so much trouble. Down in the underworld, past the Hades.
Then die already, and get the hell out of my way.
Or just get out of our way.
Fair. Well.
Okay. And so with that, we did do it. We ultimately did get a couple of duo boons at the end, which, hard to say how much they made a difference in that final fight, because they're the kind of thing that, because they're taking effect from applying a bunch of hangovers, couldn't focus on that too much. Mostly, though, it was the powerful casts, at least the thing that I was most conscious of during the final fight there was the casts, getting them back quickly and automatically. That was a really nice combo there, made it so that I could focus mostly on just dodging. And then, of course, we did a bunch of stuff with maximizing our HP. Getting up to 373, could have potentially been a little bit higher at that. Did actually have our first successful, or our first ever, and then also successful CHARON fight, so that was really cool to see. And then so much of the early boons, like Side Hustle, and the boon that made it so that we gained life from the Nectars from Dionysus as well. Don't get the Titan Blood, though. Almost did.
Shuddered when I picked this up.
And that is, I believe, now our first successful run with the bow at that. So we'll head on out and see what we find here. So yeah, I do love how it doesn't just say surface or earth or anything like that. It's specific. It says Greece. And last time, when we were up here, we could only walk very slowly. This time we're back on full speed. We can even dash if we want to. It's a little less dramatic in that way, but I suppose we can rush through in that way if we really wanted to, but...
cold.
Yeah. That means we wouldn't be able to take in the scenery.
So bright. Ugh.
Wow. That's beautiful. And they always talk about in the underworld how no one ever knows whether it's day or night, and it's like sunrise is fitting.
So much water. Uncle Poseidon's realm.
That's true. most importantly, Mom. And also other stuff here.
All manner of fruits and vegetables thrive within the hidden gardens of Persephone, the one-time queen of all the underworld. A world of life, far from the realm of death.
That's true. That's interesting how in some ways she's almost the opposite of the god of death. I mean, technically speaking, Hades isn't the god of death. Isn't that sort of Thanatos? He's god of the underworld, so the people who reside in the underworld who are already dead. But anyways, they are in some ways polar opposites, or very close to it.
What are these things?
Cyrus is like, I've never seen this stuff before. What is that?
Made it, Mother.
What is that? Alright, but first and foremost,
I
Mom.
begged the fates that you'd return to me. Perhaps I ought to be more careful how I speak of them.
Oh, yeah, don't
Tell me,
badmouth
how
them.
was your journey? What happened?
Well, see, there was this big mean guy named Dad, and we had to take him out because he really does not want us to see you. He doesn't want to answer any of our questions, so we have to fight through all the underworld just to find you.
Father didn't make it any easier for me, nor would he tell me why he never sent for you after you left. So, I don't know what's going on still, but I wanted to see you again.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you too. Come, speak quickly with me, that our time together here may be as full as possible, all right?
And, okay, maybe this is just me, but I feel like she looks a lot like Jodariel from Pyre. Now, mostly the hair, style, and color, yes, but I don't know, something about her reminds me of Jodariel from Pyre. Previous game from these developers, for those of you who aren't familiar.
I need to know what happened between you and Father. Why are you here and not with us?
Yeah, I mean, it is still rather strange that, of course, first time we saw her, she learned that we exist, and although we can't stay up here, one would, well, at least think that it would be possible, or at least she would consider coming back down to say hello, rather than us fighting through the underworld every time just to see her for a very short period of time. I don't know.
I couldn't live with myself anymore down there. After I left Olympus, a long story in itself, I came to be with your father in the underworld. It was a shock, to say the least. The others in your father's house were welcoming enough, but I never felt that I belonged.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is, for the most part, quite nice, but, you know, Meg and Thanatos, sometimes they can rub you the wrong way. I get that, I suppose.
I know the feeling, I think. But you stayed.
Not to mention Hades.
Me. Those whom I've spoken to about you, it's, as you said, they have fond memories of you. And then you even had a child. Did he mistreat you?
Yeah, I mean, that would explain a lot if you left for that reason.
No. Your father could be very difficult, though he was gentle with me. Soon enough, we got on fine. Better than fine at times, but when I was with child, why, I struggled terribly. Because child born of surface dwellers could not live down there.
Wait, Persephone, she's the daughter of Demeter. Who was her father? Was her father human? Or was she just, even though she's obviously a goddess, was she just born on the surface, and so she's saying that for that reason she can't stay down there? Because what she's saying kind of sounds like she's almost immortal? A-mortal? Two separate words there, not immortal. You know what I mean.
Could not live down there according to whom exactly? The fates?
Yeah, see, like, we're going through hell, trying to pick it up to you, and then you're just like, well, you know, I don't really feel like going back down there.
According to them, yes.
Okay, but if it's up to the
According
fates, I
to your
suppose.
father and to Nyx. Even having heard, I took my chances anyway. But when you emerged stillborn,
Oh!
it was too much.
Yeah, no, that'll do it.
I fled and came to reside here. Above the notice of the underworld. Beneath the notice of Olympus.
Wow. Okay, that's... yeah. Okay. That's really tough. In that case, understandable, perhaps, that you'd want to get out of there.
But why would Father lie to you? If he never wanted you, or never wanted me, surely he had the means.
I don't know. I'm wondering the same. But oh, look at you, Zagreus. We're running out of time. It's happening again. Stay with me, please.
I'd love to, but kinda can't.
I'm trying, but I can't stay that much longer, I don't think.
Oh, my dear son. Then please, ask Hades what you asked of me. Why he would lie. Tell him I must know, the same as you. And you farewell. Until we meet again.
Okay, I mean, I hope that Hades will take it a little more seriously if it has your name behind it, because of course, we know he doesn't take too kindly to us asking those kinds of questions by ourselves, but maybe Persephone, if it's coming from her, Hades will be a little more responsive this time. But with that, away we go.
Father, you.
So always good to see Mom again. After another successful run here, I'm curious what Hypnos has to say about this.
Oh, what happened to you? You just died? You just plain died. Like, nothing stabbed you, bludgeoned you, poisoned you, burned you, crushed you, blew you to bits,
Alright, we get the point, Hypnos, thanks.
You're back here. Must have been those natural causes mortals talk about.
Something like that, kinda. Sure.
Probably.
Probably. Oh, having a little chat with Meg? Let's see, we have important stuff to discuss?
Make certain of it, Megara. I am finding lately that the help within this house is much more lacking than it used to be. I trust that you shall set it back on course.
Okay.
If that is your will, Lord Hades, then it will be done. To the fullest limits of my capability.
Yeah, it seems like Hades, though, even if you're doing your best, sometimes that's not enough.
That's probably bad news for me.
But yeah. You're saying things aren't going well in the house, then... Is that because of us? Well, you don't want to talk to us. You don't serve us either? Achilles?
I found
about
her,
you?
sir. My mother, she's alive and well, and... but I just couldn't stay up there for very long. I have to get back to her.
Yeah.
You really made it all the way?
We did.
You must have gotten past your father. That's amazing, lad. But wait, what was she like? What happened to you there?
Well, see, the thing is, like, we can only stay there for a matter of moments. Kind of the issue.
She was great. Nothing like father, more like you a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Though being on the surface, it just seemed to suck the life right out of me.
Achilles is
Even
kind of
with
like
the
our
richest thing in the
actual
world
father,
trying to
right?
do me in.
More of a fatherly figure, at least. Certainly more so than Hades. He is or ever was, seemingly.
But then you had a little time at least. Sounds like you have unfinished business with her there. You got to her this once. Surely you're able to again, isn't that right?
Fingers crossed?
It is. I have to speak with her.
We'll get there. We'll get there again. No sign of Thanatos. Nor anyone over here. House contractor? What can we do here? Port music stand authorizes playback of music pieces from the vault. That sounds nice. We don't have enough diamonds for anything else, although, of course, these look like things that we might want to pick up at some point in time. So let's go with this, perhaps.
This ought to help Orpheus keep his boundless libraries of music in order. Just have to fill it in.
Oh my.
Oh. Okay. Looks good. Then other than that, these are just going to be things that cost gems, right? Maybe we'll hold off on that for the time being. Oh, except these cost diamonds, and these appear to be perhaps pieces of music? Yeah, Orpheus could play. Missioned expressly for the Stygian boatman. Final expense? Huh. Okay. Yeah, so definitely lots of things with diamonds that we'll want to pick up. As for Orpheus, do you have anything to say about us picking that up?
Orpheus, forgive my bluntness here, but I have to ask. Why won't you sing? You were a legend, mate. Our court musician.
A legend, dude.
Why, it's that I've lost my muse, my friend. It isn't harder to explain than that. Have you not had such moments in your life where you had lost the will to chase your passions?
I suppose that is rough.
I suppose I have, yeah. But recently I found my drive again. And that's why I have to get out of here.
It's true.
And I am truly happy for you, friend. Alas, I've had no luck in my own search. Not that I'm searching any longer, so I'll just be over here, okay?
Nah, you can't give up like that, Orpheus. Can't give up hope. Dusa? I mean, because, like, it could have been easy for us to say, well, you know, this whole getting out of the underworld thing, it's pretty tough. We have to go through Megara, she kind of took us out, and then on occasion, her sisters will try to take us out instead. Then there's this Bone Hydra, there's some king and a gigantic Minotaur that try to fight us as well, and then there's the whole god of the underworld that tries to stop us too, but if that can't stop us, then Orpheus, certainly, we can help you find your muse once more. Dusa, however...
So, hi, Prince. So, is there anything I can get you? Or maybe tidy up some more? Or, I just thought maybe you'd like something to drink sometime?
Did Dusa just ask us out? Dusa?
Oh, drink sometimes sounds wonderful, Dusa. Maybe tomorrow, assuming I'm not getting out of here by then?
That is true. It's perhaps a little bit difficult to keep a firm schedule when you are, say, trying to permanently escape this place. So,
Well, it's no big deal.
it's no big deal.
Or anything. I'm sorry. Bye.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Zach. It's yeah, I'll be gone now. Back to work, right?
Dusa?
Okay. How about we relax? Question mark?
If I sit down, I won't want to get back up.
I suppose that is true.
Head chef?
And, well, we had one opportunity to pick up a fish there, and we're not successful in that run.
Wretched broker, what's new, my friend?
We could trade a Titan Blood for a diamond. Not sure we want to do that, because aren't Titan Bloods usually more valuable than diamonds based on this order of operations here? It would seem so. I think we pass on that. No Nyx. Anything to note here? The mirror. We have picked up more darkness, yes. We actually do have enough. Take Fated Authority here. Randomly alter the rewards to the next chamber. 1 chance per rank. Sure. Let's take it. Uses up most of our darkness. Well, tell you what. The price went up a bit, but we do still have 375 remaining, so that's not bad.
Ready, I think.
With 1 solid darkness run, that's possible to get that much. If not, 2 or 3 it should definitely be possible.
What's all this?
Yeah. Skelly.
So the strangest thing happened while you were out, boyo. One of your weapon holder things back there, it picked up this eerie glow. Could see it from the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
Calm down, Skelly. I'm sure whatever it is perfectly normal for a legendary semi-sentient Titan-slaying weapon from the dawn of time.
Something like that, right?
That's just it. Those weapons of yours, they have seen some real business, pal. You're giving them a real workout, so maybe they're starting to like you or something. Loosening up a bit, you know, like you and me.
Yeah, I guess.
That's an imaginative theory, mate.
I suppose so. So we did see this last time. That we can now
into your past.
Use the aspects to unlock additional abilities on our weapons here. And so that previous run was just a normal aspect of Zagreus bow, unupgraded. So nothing special about it at all. If we were to invest Titan Blood in it, then we would get some additional crit chance. So I'm not entirely sure how we want to prioritize
more darkness with this.
Using our Titan Blood at this point in time. The spear does have a Dark Thirst at the moment, so that might be reason to use the spear here. And if so, then perhaps reason to upgrade one of the spear aspects. You have the aspect of Achilles. After your special, you can retrieve your spear with a raging rush. Press Q to dash to your spear, damaging foes. Next 4 attacks or casts are stronger. So rather than having your spear return to you, you return to your spear. Interesting. Or aspect of Hades. Oh dear. Your spin attack becomes punishing sweep. That means a huge spin attack that makes foes take more attack and special damage for 10 seconds. Does that actually happen with Hades? Is that a thing for him? I mean, obviously he has a huge spin attack, yes, but I didn't actually ever realize if you take more damage for a while after getting hit by it. That's 30% at that. That's a lot. That sounds cool. I'm thinking we try that out.
Grabbed me the aspect of my father.
Yeah, just ignore the fact that it's, you know, like our dad's spear, kind of, sort of, which maybe won't go over terribly well, especially if we make it to the fight against him using this aspect, but
all set.
Let's see what this looks like. So this is... Whoa!
All 3 points on that spear, pal.
Yup. That is a humongous spin move. And that is a cool effect as well. Means that our enemies will take more damage with that? Okay. I like it. I like it. So, I think that's all stuff for the next occasion, though. So, another successful run, making it back to Mom. Still a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. So we're definitely going to want to try to make it back up there and see if we can try to figure out why exactly... I mean, we sort of learned why she left, yes, but why exactly will Hades not have her back, and why will he not answer any of our questions? So, with that, I'll catch you guys next time.